We are conditioned to believe that the person who talks the most holds the power. We watch movies where the hero delivers a blistering, high-speed monologue that leaves the room speechless, and we are told to pitch harder, speak faster, and command the room with our words. But in the highest echelons of international business, the most dangerous person in the room isn't the one making the most noise, it's the one who says absolutely nothing. While everyone else is burning through their energy, desperately trying to prove how smart they are, an elite mergers and acquisitions strategist is doing something entirely different. He is weaponizing the void. He built a 9-figure fortune not by mastering the art of persuasion, but by mastering the psychology of the empty space between words. He knows a secret that most ambitious people spend a lifetime failing to learn. When you speak, you give away your power, but when you pause, you force the other side to hand theirs over to you. This is the story of a defining encounter between a young entrepreneur, Elena, and a master of human psychology. It's a breakdown of how a single, well-timed silence can extract millions of dollars from an opponent, and why the ultimate business asset isn't your intellect, but your ability to control your own comfort zone. Elena, like most ambitious people, originally believed that to win in business, you had to be the loudest, fastest, and sharpest person in the room. Wealth, surely, belonged to the smooth talkers who always had an immediate answer. But over the course of a single afternoon, this M&A titan completely shattered that illusion. As they sat together, Elena noticed something fascinating about the strategist's presence. When he spoke, he didn't rush. When Elena asked a question, the strategist wouldn't answer right away. He would wait. He would look deeply, reading the room and reading the micro-expressions, the slight twitch of a lip, the fleeting look of uncertainty in the eyes, the subtle shift in posture. The strategist explained that human beings are fundamentally terrified of silence. In our modern world, we are conditioned to constantly react. If someone stops talking, our brains treat it as an emergency, and we feel an overwhelming, anxious urge to fill the vacuum. In business, the person who rushes to fill that vacuum almost always loses. The strategist looked at Elena and said, "Most people think negotiation is a battle of arguments. It's not. It's a battle of emotional stamina. Wealth doesn't flow to the person with the loudest voice. It flows to the person who can sit with discomfort without speaking." Let's break down exactly what happens in a room when you master the tactical pause, because it is pure psychology. When you refuse to speak immediately after a high-stakes question or an ultimatum, 3 things happen instantly. First, you shift the burden of discomfort. When an opponent throws a hard demand at you, they expect a defensive reaction. When you give them absolute stillness instead, the pressure bounces right back onto them. They begin to wonder what you know that they don't, if they just made a mistake, or if their position is weaker than they thought. Second, the truth emerges. In a desperate bid to end the silence, people will almost always start talking to defend themselves. When people talk out of nervousness, they leak information, revealing their bottom line, their fears, and their weaknesses until they are literally negotiating against themselves. Third, it projects absolute authority. Noise is a sign of submission. Silence is the ultimate display of power. Think about who speaks the most in a company. Usually, it's the salesperson trying desperately to close a deal, or the mid-level manager trying to prove their worth. The person who speaks the least is the one who holds all the leverage. By mastering the pause, you instantly signal to the subconscious mind of everyone in the room that you are the one in control. As Elena listened to these insights, the realization hit like a lightning bolt. This wasn't just a trick for corporate boardrooms. This was a philosophy for life and wealth. The master strategist hadn't just built a fortune out of luck or technical market knowledge. He had built it on a foundation of rigorous, unbreakable internal control. He taught Elena that in the modern economy, technical skills are a dime a dozen. Anyone can learn Excel, look at a balance sheet, or draft a contract, but very few people can control their own nervous system when millions of dollars are on the line. Emotional self-regulation is the highest-paying business asset in the entire world. Think about the biggest mistakes made in business and finance. Deals are ruined because someone let their ego get hurt. Companies go bankrupt because a leader made an impulsive, angry decision. And millions are lost because a negotiator couldn't handle 5 seconds of awkward silence and lowered their price just to ease their own anxiety. Your ability to delay your reaction, to suppress the urge to defend your ego, and to simply observe the room while others lose their cool is your superpower. It is a literal money printing machine. When you own your emotions, you own the room, and when you own the room, you dictate the terms. Elena walked away from that meeting a completely changed entrepreneur. The lesson was clear. Stop trying to win arguments by talking over people. Instead, start winning by letting the room speak first and listening to what they aren't saying. So, how do you apply this to your own life starting today? The next time you are in a meeting, negotiating a salary, pitching a client, or even handling a difficult conversation, and the tension rises, I want you to try the tactical pause. When it's your turn to speak, count to 3 in your head before you open your mouth. Let the silence hang for just a moment. Watch the micro-expressions of the people around you and notice how desperately they want to fill it. Stop trying to out-talk the world is already too noisy. True power, true authority, and true wealth belong to the person who can sit in the quiet, read the room, and let everyone else reveal their cards first. Master the pause, control your mind, and watch how quickly the room and the world bends to your favor.